In regards to the racially motivated shooting, people who are affiliated with law enforcement themselves have conceded my point that it is connected to me. Okay? Let's be clear about this so you understand. First of all, what is normal? The word normal is an anagram or a scramble, a word that when the letters are rearranged makes up one or more words for the letter N and moral. It is impossible to truly be normal without being moral, and moral universally. Normal is a word that is universal. It isn't socially normative relative to a culture, but it's normal universally. Okay. So, with that being said, we know that there's 22 witnesses. People have conceded my point, including members of law enforcement, and I've even interviewed psychologists and whatnot, okay? Or at least one psychologist, and people who may very well be psychologists, hard to say what they do, okay? It is crystal clear that there is nothing wrong with me and that my testimony is golden. It is platinum. It is sacred. It is more precious than rubies. So let's look at Jeremiah 21. God says to the Jews, he said, look, I don't care who you think you are. God says to the Jews, I don't care who you think you are. While you're worshiping Baal and Molech, okay, and Asherah, okay, and Astarte and Aphrodite and these kind of ideas, and deities similar to these ideas. He said, I don't care about your erotic desire. I don't care about your lust for money. I don't care about your prostituting for other gods. You are not above the righteous. He says straight to him, he says straight up, I will fight against you with an outstretched hand and a mighty arm. I don't give a shit who you people think you are. I don't care how bad you think you are after killing the prophets. Now, from this kind of greater Judeo-Christian left-right paradigm comes the argument that people have an ego problem. Why? Because they want people to destroy their natural idea of self and then reinvent themselves as their slaves. Now think very carefully. The people who wouldn't believe me right away think of slave in terms of being in chains on a ship, okay, in the cargo hold, or in prison in chains. Strange how that works. When slaves, more often than not, were not in chains. They were working on the cotton field in America, for example. They weren't in chains. They had times where they were allowed to walk around freely when they didn't have to work, when they're back in their housing where they're housed. Okay? Slaves, more often than not, do not have chains. They have mental chains. And they are subordinated to slave master scum. That's why in the Bible, Jesus says people are slaves to sin if they sin. He says all who sin are slaves to sin. So you have these people arguing that you're saved by grace and faith while twisting these words. When you're saved only when you walk in the divine order without sin. Okay? And when you start thinking of something wrong, you catch yourself, then you're not guilty of sin. Okay? You try your damnedest not to sin, then you're not guilty of sin. You're not a slave to sin. If you say, wait, we're all sinners and I'm not perfect and I sin at times, then you're a slave to sin. So what happened with this tactical shooter? I was talking about military grade psychology in my videos before this shooting happened. I was making a playlist called Exposing Rape by Deception. I said the word race and rape are connected. Race, rape, and rate. Rate of reproduction, rate of who gets the hot chicks and so on and so forth. And racist and rapist. Grape, G-rape, and drape, D-rape. Anagrams. Grape and drape. Okay? Pulling the drapes. Rope, ripe, and rape. Okay? Oftentimes people would tie up their victims and rape them. There's also mental rope. Now, a lot of people say, I'm not, he lost me at that. And then watch it again and again until you get it. I'm the top martial artist. When God said to the Jews, I'm above you and do what I say, he used martial art principles, not Freemasonry, not the government, not the military, martial arts. He said, I will fight against you, not with a literal sword, but with an outstretched hand and a mighty arm and character and morality and justice and righteousness, like in Revelations 19. So what was the guy thinking when he did the shooting? He was thinking white supremacy. He was conditioned by military grade psychology. Who uses military grade psychology? Why do the militias take on military tactics? Why do they wear military boots and military uniform and use military tactics and white nationalist martial arts? Why was the Klan depicting themselves in that picture I showed in one of these videos as an angel? Because their argument is that their spirit is above God's. Their argument is that the spirit of white supremacy is above God's, and since the governing class are Satanists and neo-pagans and fake Christians, there's no church that is a real Christian church. There's no Christian movement other than me that is a real Christian movement. Because they believe in white supremacy and token minority garbage. Okay? They suppress me and they fume me and poison me. They fume me, poison me, and change my image and try to make it so I look odd and provoke me to try to make it so I yell while they're messing up my brain so I look like some nerd or something, when I'm the son of a Nigerian warrior turned brain surgeon, not a nerd. My dad is 6'4", like fucking 280 pounds or something, and when he was younger, muscular, cutting into people's brains as the most moral brain surgeon, a humanitarian with awards and all. Who else can say that? My two brothers? But I emerged as character. I am the sun in the sky. People like me were compared to the sun in Egypt, and in the Bible, it says the bridegroom symbol is the sun. Psalm 19, bridegroom and champion. Revelation 19, the flesh, the birds will eat the flesh. And what did David say to Goliath? He said, he'll strike you down, cut off your head, and the birds will feast on your flesh. They're referring to the champion at single combat, which is proven through sparring, not through cage fighting. If I have a razor sharp weapon in my hand and they're a cage fighter, I'm going to cut them wide open long before they could even think about taking me down. How are they going to take me down when I stab them 8, 9, 10 times first? Okay, moving at world record speed, stabbing their carotid artery, their femoral, their liver, their kidney, their stomach, their eye. Think about it. Their neck in general, slicing it wide open. They won't have a chance. You think you're going to grab somebody who moves at world record speed? You're going to grab his world record speed hands out of the air? What, you think you can catch bullets too, you dumb fucks? Yes, I'm the top martial artist. And yes, that shooting has everything to do with the things that I'm talking about and why they're persecuting me. It's called Target, Black Ops. Sidney Gottlieb in MK Ultra was called the dirty trickster, the dark trickster, the dirty sorcerer, the dark sorcerer, the black magician. Because these are some weirdos. Whiz kid, wizard, withdraw, wizard, anagram. Okay, the word with the letters rearranged to make one or more words. They draw on a geek-ass idea, baby lion, Rothschild. Okay? Now let's look at the words. Why are they messing up the way I look and the way I dress? Well, wardrobe. Okay, costume, cost you me, outfit. And there's a bunch of other words like that make it clear. For example, pants and panties and Pan, whose name means all for all the Greco-Roman deities, and he's the devil on the tarot card. And we can go on and on and on. You think I'm crazy, but I know all these facts and they have no viable counterargument. Before you say a fucking whisper about me being crazy, present your viable counterargument. What have I said that's crazy? These are called facts. I'm the son of 2 doctors and a brain surgeon's son. Who are you to call me crazy without presenting a logical, viable counterargument? Nobody has that right. Nobody has that ability without being seen as a complete fucking idiot that they are.